Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today, we are looking at a really interesting one, Applovin. I mean, what a run it's had in 2025, just explosive. But then, bam, a sharp 14% pullback just this week. So that leaves you, the investor, asking, okay, do the fundamentals still hold up? Is this dip maybe the time to jump in? We're going to dig into the numbers, look at their competitive edge, their tech, and check out what catalysts are coming up that could move the price soon. And hey, if you want us to cover a specific company in a future discussion, make sure you subscribe, like this, and definitely leave a comment below telling us which one.
Exactly. We want to cut through the noise today, look at the financial health, figure out what makes their tech moat so strong. Then we'll pivot to the charts, the technical levels, and also importantly, the risks, and maybe some of the speculation out there. Give you the full picture.
Okay, let's start with the basics then, the financials. I mean, with that kind of stock run, does the performance actually back it up? What are the numbers telling us?
Oh, the numbers absolutely back it up. In fact, you could argue they drive it. This isn't just hype, it's real breakaway growth. For 2024, Applovin brought in $4.71 billion in revenue. That's up 43.44% from the year before. Massive growth for a company this size.
43% is huge, yeah. But okay, revenue is one thing. What about profit? Ad tech can be tough. Lots of spending, right? Where's the leverage?
Right, and this is where it gets, really interesting. This is where you see the justification for that premium valuation people talk about. They're showing incredible profit acceleration. It's actually quite rare in this space. Net income for 2024, $1.58 billion. That's a jump of 344.3% year over year.
Hold on. Did you say 344% profit growth? That sounds insane. How does the company pull that off in ad tech without just burning cash like crazy?
It's not luck, it's scale. They've reached a point where their main costs engineering, the core platform tech, are mostly covered. So as they add new advertisers, a much bigger chunk of that new revenue falls straight to the bottom line. That's that margin leverage kicking in. Investors love seeing that shift from just growth spending to real profitability. And the trailing EPS for this tracking is $7.03.
Okay, the numbers are clearly impressive. But that brings us right back to valuation, doesn't it? Over 80 times trailing earnings, maybe 53 times forward. Isn't that a huge risk? Justifies being cautious, maybe.
That's absolutely the tension point. Yes, the valuation is high, no doubt, but the market is pricing in that they can keep leading and that their moat is durable. If that moat holds, well, the valuation naturally comes down as earnings keep growing fast, and they dominate mobile marketing because they've built this whole proprietary ecosystem.
Okay, define that moat. What exactly keeps clients sticky?
It's really a kind of closed-loop system. It's designed to maximize ROI for the client, but also make it painful to leave. 3 main parts. First, their app discovery engine finds the users. Second, the Max platform handles the real-time bidding to get the best price for those users. And third, the Adjust Analytics suite proves the ROI. So if an advertiser wants to switch, they basically have to rebuild that whole data and optimization setup. It's costly, it's technically tricky, that's their barrier.
Got it. So it's not just having good tech, it's the integration and the sheer hassle of switching that locks people in. And they've got the financial muscle too, right? A $213.7 billion market cap. Plus that operating leverage means they can reinvest heavily or maybe even do buybacks. Okay, so that covers the why, the strong fundamentals. But what about the when? What's been happening recently and what's coming up that could drive the price short term?
Yeah, they've been busy. Over the last 3 months, we've seen some key moves. Back in October 2025, they launched Axon. That's a big new platform aimed at performance advertising for, a broader range of businesses, moving beyond just mobile gaming. It's a clear diversification play.
Okay, Axon. What else?
September was all about AI. Lots of talk about continued aggressive investment in their AI optimization tools. And that's crucial because even small improvements in ad performance mean happier clients, higher retention, more revenue for Applovin. And we saw evidence it's working. In August, they hit a record for signing up new enterprise clients. Wall Street noticed, too, several firms reiterated buy ratings around then.
New products, client wins.
Yeah.
Seems like strong momentum. So looking ahead now the next 3 months or so, what are the key dates, the potential triggers?
Okay, 4 big ones coming up fast. First, and probably most important near term, is the Q3 earnings release. That's scheduled for October 24th, 2025. Given their track record on margins, a beat there could really ignite the stock. Expectations are high, though, so management needs to deliver.
Okay, Q3 earnings, October 24th. What else?
Then, looking towards year-end, there are a couple of related things. First, the holiday advertising report is due November 25th. That sets the tone for ad spend forecasts. Second, there's often a major institutional buy window around December 1st. Big funds sometimes rotate into winners before closing their books for the year. That could be a tailwind. And finally, maybe less impactful, but still worth noting, ETF sector rebalancing on November 15th. That can cause some passive buying.
Wow, okay, that's a packed calendar. So let's shift to the technicals. The how and when of a potential trade. Stocks down 14% this week. Healthy pullback or something worse?
From a technical standpoint, it looks more like a classic opportunity within a really strong uptrend. I mean, the stock's been incredible, up 85% year to date before this dip. It hit a 52-week high recently at $745.61. So this 14% drop, probably just some profit taking after that huge run, makes sense.
So if someone sees this as a chance to buy, where's the key support? The level that needs to hold to keep the bullish case intact?
We're looking at a range now, probably between $545 on the low end and that recent high around $745. Why $545? That level was key support back in June during a consolidation phase. It's a strong psychological and technical floor. If $545 holds, yeah, this pullback looks like a pretty good entry point. If we get good news and it breaks higher, then retesting that $700, $745 resistance zone is the next step.
And the momentum indicators, do they support that view?
They do, largely. The stock is still comfortably above its 50-day moving average, which is around $521.96, and way above the 200-day average near $382.80. That tells you the long-term trend, the slope, is still very much positive, solidly bullish. Plus, the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, is around 40. That's definitely not overbought. Plenty of room to run higher without hitting exhaustion levels.
And what's the vibe on Wall Street? Are the analysts still bullish despite this week's drop?
Oh, absolutely. Sentiment is still very strong. Most analysts rated a buy or strong buy. Consensus price targets are generally in the $569, $580 range for the next 12 months, but some high targets go all the way up to $860. So, yeah, conviction among institutions seems quite high. They're focused on that earnings growth continuing.
All right, before we wrap up with a final take, let's touch on the speculation and the risks. The wild cards, any interesting rumors out there, and importantly, what could go wrong?
Sure, on the speculative front, there's definitely some chatter. Four main things keep popping up. First, persistent, though unconfirmed, rumors about potential merger talks with another ad tech player. That would obviously be huge for scale. Second, there's talk about a serious push into Asia-Pacific markets. Big growth potential there.
Okay, mergers, international expansion. What else?
Third, some speculation about a stealth rollout of a major platform update, maybe tied to Axon before year-end. That could be an unexpected catalyst. And finally, whispers about acquiring some key AI patents to boost their targeting tech even further.
Interesting possibilities, but let's balance that. Given the high PE ratio we talked about, what are the really critical risks here?
Number one, without a doubt, is that valuation. Trading at such a premium makes it super sensitive to market shifts. If sentiment turns risk off or rates jump, stocks like Applovin can get hit hard and fast. There's just not much margin for error baked into the price.
Okay, valuation risk is clear. What else?
Second is customer concentration. They still rely pretty heavily on mobile gaming clients and some large advertisers. While gaming is huge, it does expose them to downturns specific to that industry. If gaming budgets tighten, it hurts them directly.
Makes sense. And a third risk?
Just the sheer competitiveness of ad tech. It's relentless. They need constant innovation, which is expensive. And they're always dealing with changing platform rules, like privacy changes from Apple or Google. Those can disrupt their whole model almost overnight. Execution has to be near perfect.
So let's pull it all together then. We've got explosive profit growth, a strong tech moat, what looks like a decent technical entry point now, and a bunch of catalysts coming up. What's the final verdict?
Well, our overall take is pretty bullish. We'd rate it a 9 out of 10 right now. The rationale is straightforward. The profit growth and leverage are exceptional for this industry. The pullback offers a tactical entry within a strong uptrend. The technicals look supportive, and with Q3 earnings just around the corner, there's clear potential for near-term upside.
So who is this stock best suited for?
I think it works for two types of investors. First, the tactical trader looking to play these upcoming catalysts, like earnings, over the next, say, 1 to 3 months. And second, the long-term buyer who believes in their market leadership and the multi-year growth story in mobile advertising.
Okay, and baby, here's the final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. Applovin, yeah, they built arguably the fastest race car in ad tech. Phenomenal performance. But the big tech giants, they keep changing the rules of the road, those privacy updates, platform tweaks. So the core question is, can Applovin's management keep making perfect pit stops quarter after quarter to navigate those changes and justify this sky-high premium? That execution under pressure, that's the key thing to watch into 2026. Thanks for tuning in to Investing Talk Podcast. We will catch you on the next one.